Hello, everyone. I'm Devyn Gaydos, the marketing manager here at ClearEdge, and welcome back to Spark the Space, where the ClearEdge team shares all of our knowledge, expertise, and inspiration with you so that your marketing can be better than ever. Or in this case, how your recruiting can be better than ever, because today I'm joined by ClearEdge's CMO and SVP of ClearEdge Recruiting, Leslie Cardec. And today we're going to be talking about investing in your marketing team. When you start to invest in building out that team, you may be a little lost with when to go in-house, when to outsource and bring in an agency, and what you should look for in both of those types of candidates. So in this episode, we're going to dive into exactly that so you can build the team that's perfect for you and your goals. So Leslie, first and foremost, what should companies ask themselves when they're looking to build out their marketing teams to make sure they're going about it in the right way?
Yeah, some of the questions that I would ask myself if I was in those shoes, and I've asked myself in the past, have really been around what is my overall marketing budget and my headcount budget? I mean, it all starts there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two different two different budget lines, so it's important to know the difference between the two. Then, what are my company's key goals, right? How can marketing then support those goals? For example, when the goal is lead gen, or customer retention or brand awareness, for example, the who and the what that is needed to support those activities is going to vary. So you should then be asking yourself where the gaps are in the current marketing activities that you are executing based on those priorities. And not just looking at where the gaps are in activities, but also the expertise that you have in order to get that stuff done. And also the technology and tools. There could be gaps in those areas as well. So you have to holistically take a step back and see, are you doing the right activities? Do you have the right players on the team? And do you have the right technology to actually execute on everything that you have in front of you? Then, if gaps exist, what is the best approach? Do you build in-house? Do you leverage agencies? Or do you take a more hybrid approach? It's really not one or the other. It could be hybrid. For example, at ClearEdge, we do this for multiple clients. We act as an organization's outsourced marketing agency, and we can actually source and place marketing talent either on a full-time or a fractional basis into companies to fill those critical gaps alongside an existing team. So I wouldn't say it's one or the other, not that you are saying this, but I do a lot more trending towards a hybrid approach.
I actually love that. Yes. Get the best of both worlds. If you can do both, why wouldn't you do both? So, in thinking about going for that hybrid approach, what are some of the advantages to an in-house versus an outsourced hire? And do you think there are particular roles on a team that work for a particular employment type?
That's a good question, and it comes up all the time, actually. There's really no right or wrong answer, but it's an important decision. Agency support can provide specialized skills you may not have internally and can be especially helpful as your company scales. So, in order to keep pace, that could be a good opportunity to bring in an agency. However, it's important to partner with an agency that knows your niche to ensure that
Hmm.
your work resonates with your target audience. That is super important. And partner with the right agency that knows your market, provides diverse perspectives, and can free up internal resources to help manage other activities and efforts that really need to be cared for. On the in-house side of things, having that internal marketing support ensures that someone's deeply embedded in all facets of your business, the culture, has that institutional knowledge. Internal talent can holistically ensure alignment from the inside and help ensure that your projects come to life beyond just marketing. The other thing I would say is speed is a factor when thinking about internal versus external. Also ask yourself, are you a company that frequently changes course or direction, or is this more of a project? This will help you steer obviously in the right direction, but just from a efficiency standpoint. So all of those are important. And then you asked a question about roles. So this one's a little bit, it's like answering without giving you an exact answer, which is probably how but there's no typical scenario anymore. It truly depends on the maturity of your organization and your growth goals. So what I see is a lot of companies taking more of a hybrid approach where an agency or a fractional head of marketing, for an example, sets the strategy and then the in-house team can execute. Or perhaps your in-house team executes pieces of the strategy, and then the agency or the fractional can bring other gaps to life.
Hmm.
An SEO strategy can be managed internally, but maybe you don't have that technical skill set in-house. So then that's when you would tap into an outside resource. So this hybrid approach sort of balances control and flexibility and allows you to scale more efficiently.
Oh, I love that. And it, like you said, it always comes back to goals. It comes back to what you're trying to do and how you can fill in the gaps to make it happen. Now, presuming, because we're a little bit biased to the best of both worlds, bringing in an agency, having some good people in-house, presuming that is the kind of team that a company is working with, how do you make it work well? How do you make sure that the in-house team and the outsourced team are working well together to help achieve those goals?
Yeah, another good question. The first thing you need to do is just define what your core marketing functions
Mm.
are. Asking yourself what function in our marketing team requires deep brand knowledge and long-term vision. And so maybe those are the things that maybe stay internal, right? Or what specialized skills are missing from your team. For example, one that comes just top of mind is like video production or website
Yes.
or SEO, right? Could we be better served with an external partner who does this day in and day out, and this is their thing? Where is my team at in terms of capacity? Do they have the bandwidth to do what needs to be done? And if not, outsourcing can help bridge that gap. The best case scenarios, though, hands down, no matter what, comes from when the internal team really thinks about the external teams or partners as extensions of their own. In addition to goals, budget, and existing capabilities, I would say it's also important to understand where your company's growth is and what stage you're at. For example, a startup's needs probably look very different from where a more mature organization looking to stay relevant and adapt to industry shifts, that their needs vary quite a bit. So a lot of questions to ask, but once you kind of pull those layers apart and break it down, it'll become a lot more clear of what you can handle internally and what you may want to externally outsource to help your function thrive.
Yeah, and that's so important. We create these videos to give a high level amount of information to people, but when it really comes down to it, it's personalized to you. It's personalized to your goals, to what exists with your team. So I love that we reiterate that to folks because it is really important. Well, Leslie, thank you so much for joining me today. If you are watching, you can connect with Leslie over on LinkedIn. And as always, you can visit meetclearedge.com to get in touch with us about all that we do at ClearEdge, including our recruiting, our marketing, and our leadership development services. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.